"Oh, that was nothing. Oh, he only has a hook, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, bro. And I had to stop and just be like, all right, bing, 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 with my hurt hand too. But I was so mad and irritated. I started throwing it even though it was hurting. I was like, fuck it. Da-da, da-da. But yeah.
Last question for me. You know, you spoke about a little while ago, Devin Haney, and one thing he said recently, he said the rematch wouldn't happen because you had dropped out of VADA. Can you just right here, right now, clarify that so that there's no impediment?
Yeah. Ryan Garcia is the WBC welterweight champion of the world. And Manny Pacquiao just told the entire sport nobody can stop him. That's not a fan talking. That's the only 8-division world champion in boxing history. A man who fought Garcia's last victim firsthand. And what he said after Garcia's performance is already reshaping the conversation about who King Rai fights next. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what Pacquiao said and why it changes everything for Garcia's future.
Oscar, he just likes to contradict himself. You know? It's all good. It's all love, man. It's not my fault ever. I always say yes to everything. If a fight ever falls through, it's because of the opposite side. But that's no disrespect to Manny. Manny is a great fighter. He's a legendary fighter and somebody I respect a lot.
You clicked because Manny Pacquiao, the legend, the icon, the man Ryan Garcia himself once vowed to knock out cold, just broke his silence on King Rai. And what he said was not diplomatic. It was not polite boxing talk. It was a full endorsement from the greatest welterweight who ever lived. Most people think this is just Pacquiao being gracious. That's the wrong read. Here's our take. Pacquiao knows Garcia better than almost anyone right now. He fought Barrios last July in Las Vegas. He felt what Barrios had. He knows what Barrios couldn't do. And when he watched Garcia make Barrios look helpless in February 2026, he wasn't surprised at all. In this video, we're going to walk you through 3 things. First, what Garcia actually did to Barrios. Second, what Pacquiao said, word for word, and why it lands so hard. And third, the twist that nobody is talking about yet. The real reason Pacquiao may be saying this right now.
You know, I thought that after the 12 rounds, I won the fight. Like my analysis, like I won 8-4. That's my analysis for the fight. But the thing.
To understand why Pacquiao's words carry so much weight, you have to know where both men were before this moment. Ryan Garcia, 27 years old, had been through one of the most chaotic stretches in recent boxing history: a drug suspension, a $1.1 million fine from the New York State Athletic Commission, a no contest with Devin Haney, a shocking loss to Rolly Romero in May 2025. He hadn't registered an official win since December 2023. Most of boxing had written him off. Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old, came out of a 4-year retirement last July to face WBC champion Mario Barrios. He nearly pulled off the upset. 2 of 3 judges saw it 114-114. 10 of 16 media members scored it for Pacquiao. It was a reminder that Barrios, a legitimate world champion, was very much beatable. And this is where the story gets complicated. Now, most people covering this story stopped at the scorecards, but there's one thing they all missed. Garcia didn't just beat Barrios. He made Barrios look like he had no right to be in the same ring. Garcia knocked Barrios down with an overhand right just 30 seconds into round 1. 30 seconds before most fans had even settled into their seats. He controlled every round from that moment forward. The judges scored it 119-108, 120-107, and 118-109. Garcia's own camp noted he barely used his signature left hook. He spent all camp working his right hand, knowing everyone expected the hook. Barrios couldn't adjust. Barrios couldn't respond. Why does that matter to the USA boxing audience? Because just 8 months earlier, a 46-year-old Pacquiao nearly took that same belt from that same Barrios. Garcia didn't just win, he made the fight Pacquiao was denied. He proved what many felt, that Barrios was never truly dominant. Garcia exposed him completely. And when Pacquiao, who lived through that experience firsthand, watched Garcia on February 21, his response said everything. But that's not even the most important part of this story. And this is where the real story, the one nobody in mainstream boxing media covered, finally comes out. 2 days after the Barrios fight, Pacquiao was asked about Garcia's win. He didn't offer careful praise. He didn't give a diplomatic non-answer. He said he was not surprised at all. He told reporters, and this is the key line, Barrios is an easy target. And then, according to sources present, he went further. Nobody in boxing can stop him right now. Nobody. Let that land. This is not a random retired fighter being asked for a quote. This is Manny Pacquiao, a man Garcia had publicly called out, a man Garcia said he would knock out like Juan Manuel Marquez did. For months, Garcia was chasing Pacquiao, talking about him, wanting the fight. And now the legend himself is standing up and saying King Rai is untouchable. Why is this the emotional peak of the whole story? Because Garcia's career needed credibility, not just a belt. Wins over Barrios are fine, but Pacquiao's stamp? That's something no other fighter in the world can give you. When the 8-division champion says nobody can stop you, that's currency nobody else has. But here's what nobody is connecting, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the one detail that reframes everything we just covered. Pacquiao calling Barrios an easy target is not just a comment about Barrios, it's a signal. He fought Barrios, he felt his power, his speed, his timing. If Barrios is an easy target, and Garcia destroyed him, then what is Pacquiao saying about himself versus Garcia? Garcia had already told the Ring magazine he was not interested in denying his desire to fight Pacquiao. He said it was something you dream of, that if Pacquiao wanted to throw down, he was ready. And now the man himself is publicly hyping Garcia up, telling the world nobody can stop him. In boxing, that's not a compliment, that's a flyer. That's Pacquiao keeping his name next to Garcia's. For the tribal boxing fan watching this, that fight is already being negotiated in the court of public opinion. Garcia has the WBC belt, the momentum, and now the blessing of the legend. The question is no longer if this fight happens. The question is when. The next move belongs to Garcia, and if the last few weeks are any guide, he's not going to wait long to make it. Garcia went from suspended, fined, and written off to WBC welterweight champion with Manny Pacquiao's blessing in the span of one night. That's the kind of redemption arc that boxing was built for. The sport doesn't just create champions, it creates stories, and this one is far from over. Was Pacquiao right to put Garcia over like this, or is he unknowingly building up the man who could take the biggest payday of his comeback away from him? Drop your take below. If you want the full story on everything happening in boxing before it hits mainstream media, hit subscribe.